Please, don't kill me. I'll do anything.
Anything you say.
Are you ready for the best sleepover ever?
Yeah, whatever. I can't wait to get this over with.
I hope you have packed everything you need. And remember, alcohol, weapons, and phones are not allowed.
Okay, Mom.
Evan, 2 hours of detention for you after this. Anyways, the girls will sleep in the library and the boys will sleep in the classroom. Go and pack your stuff and meet me in the cafeteria in 15.
The students started unpacking, and Evan started showing off his stuff. He had a hunting knife that he took from his father, his brand new iPhone 12, and a 1-liter bottle of Smirnoff vodka. He took a couple of sips from the bottle, gave Frank a sip, before everyone started walking towards the cafeteria. Suddenly, the halls went dark.
What the hell was that?
A scream. Duh.
Evan started to look drunk, but still had a partially clear mind.
Yeah, I heard that and it sounded like it came from the cafeteria.
Okay, let's check it out. Wait, where's Martin?
We can't worry about him now. We have to go to the cafeteria.
Then they ran to the cafeteria and saw something awful. It was Heidi, the teacher, laying on the floor. She was completely lifeless. She had blood running out of her eyes and nose. She also had bruises on her neck, obvious signs of strangulation. Jennifer and Emma screamed and ran out of the cafeteria. Ellis started inspecting the body. Cool, it's just like a horror movie. Jerry, that's not cool.
We have to call the cops.
Just as John finished his thought, a light crack pierced in the air as something fell to the ground. The students turned around in shock. There stood Evan in the hallway, with his mouth hung open and his hands interlocked with his strands of hair, which were desperately trying to hold on to his scalp.
My phone!
Furious, and yet over so gently, he picked up his phone and almost didn't dare to turn it around. With a deep breath, he took in his faint, scattered reflection on the screen. It was all he could get out of it, since he wouldn't be able to contact anyone anymore. Knowing how expensive it had been, he cried out in anger and smashed it against the wall.
Piece of sh**.
Dude, what the man? That was our only way to call the cops.
Alright, I can go to the station and get the cops.
They walked to the doors and tried opening them, but they were stuck, and they did not have a regular lock. They had a digital one or a keycard one, which only teachers and workers from the school could access. Jennifer and Emma came back after throwing up in the restroom.
We're screwed, man. But this means the killer should still be at this school.
Maybe they're using the wall ventilation systems to get around.
Wait, you know the schematics to the building?
He did not answer. When Jennifer turned around to make him talk, he was gone.
Where the did he go?
Everyone looked around to try and find him, but he was gone.
We need to find him. He might know more.
They went back to the cafeteria to make some food and discuss around the round table. But when they got there, they got an unpleasant surprise.
Where's Heidi's body?
Did anyone move the body before we went to check the doors?
Nobody had moved the body.
But would anyone have a motive to kill Heidi and potentially kidnap Alex?
Well, Jennifer was abused as a child. Her father is dead.
Jennifer went lunging for Evan, grabbing his shirt's collar.
Don't bring that up or I'll shut your mouth for good.
Ayo, calm down, dude. It's fine.
Evan just accused me of murder and brought up private conversations publicly for the entire class.
Shut up, new girl. Nobody knows you, and now suddenly you bring up questions like that. Get out.
Suddenly, they hear a massive boom thrashing through the air. A gunshot, its brassy echo resonating deep within them and freezing them in their tracks. Their gazes all shut up as a single pair of footsteps came running towards them on the plateau which overlooked parts of the cafeteria. As if he didn't know it was there, Alex ran towards the railing meant to keep people safe, and threw himself over it while yelling.
Help!
Almost like a can of paint had fallen over, the ground was stained to an alarming degree with a pool of crimson red. They did not know where he had been or what he was doing up there, and now they might never even know.
Pistol, 44 cal, probably shot in the foot, otherwise he would die instantaneously.
How do you know?
I've been shooting my whole life, so I know what the different calibers sound like.
Ella rushed over to the body, suspicious of John's knowledge, only to find that John's theory was true. Shot in the foot, and Ella's interest in medicine came in handy. She found out that he had suffered a broken neck too. Frank ran upstairs to see if he could catch the killer, but he was too late. The killer was gone.
That was my dad's pistol. I brought it with me for fun, but I guess now the killer got it.
Wait, you brought a gun?
That can wait for now. We gotta run back and see if we can catch the killer.
They ran up the stairs towards where the gunshot came from. On the way there, they ran into Martin.
Where have you all been? Where did Heidi and Alex go?
Where the hell have you been?
I was just in the music room practicing for a talent show, but came out after I heard a bang.
So you don't know that our teacher is dead?
Our teacher is dead?
Yeah, I am your brother and all, but we can't take the risk.
They picked up Martin and bound him to a chair in the cleaning room where they stored cleaning supplies. They tried to make him talk, but they were not satisfied with the answer given. They found some tape in a closet and taped his mouth shut, told him that he had an hour to start talking.
I am sorry, brother, but you were the only one that wasn't there when the nightmare began.
John gave his brother an apologetic look before closing the door.
Tom and Jerry, you guys stay behind to watch the door and we will be back.
Then the rest proceeded to go back to the classroom, where they sat down to take it easy and play card games. But they were more paranoid now that they knew that they might have taken the wrong person. Time flew for everyone else, but it could not have passed any slower for John. With his arms crossed and leaned against one of the desks in the back of the classroom, his gaze was glued to the floor, while his thoughts were only with his brother. He could not believe what he did to him. His guilt overtook him, but he wasn't allowed to just go out there and free him as much as he wanted to. It would make him look suspicious, and if he really was dangerous, he could harm his classmates. No, it can't be. It can't be. Martin would never do something like this. He can't be a killer. He can't be. Why wouldn't he just talk? I'm sorry. I wish I didn't have to do this. But I'll vouch for him. I'll do what I must to prove his innocence. Forgive me, Martin. Please be okay. Before he knew it, it was time to look after his brother again. John's thoughts trailed off for almost an hour. A light tap on his shoulder shook him out of his trance.
Come on, we'll get your brother.
So you think he's innocent?
I've known you guys for a little while now. I don't think either of you would be capable of doing something like this.
John allowed himself a small grin before returning to his usual strict visage.
I wouldn't want Martin near me, with the way he suspiciously disappeared while Alexander got shot.
Watch your mouth!
Emma only crossed her arms and looked off to the side.
Do what you must, but I won't get anywhere near him.
A surprising amount of students agreed with Emma. It broke John's heart that so many would consider his brother a murderer, but he wasn't going to let any of that show. In the end, they decided that him, Frank, and Ella would look after Martin, while the rest of them stayed behind in the classroom. No word was exchanged while John, Frank, and Ella made their way up to Martin. For John, his heartbeat was enough noise filling his ears. He just wanted to apologize to his brother, free him from his chains, and make it through this with him together. His shaking heart seemed to want to race to Martin way before his body could even follow. Slowly but steadily, he started to pick up the pace. Faster and faster he would go. Ella and Frank could barely keep up with him. In on swift motion, he turned a corner and swung open the closet doors. Martin, Nothing. Nothing could be heard anymore. His heartbeat stopped occupying his ears. All the energy that had carried him to his brother evaporated in an instant. He fell to the ground with a soft no. Just a second later, Ella and Frank turned the same corner and saw John kneeling on the ground. It was Martin. He sat there in his chair, slouched over, the blood flowing down his neck, stained written in Martin's blood. John just stood there, staring at his brother's body, while a tear slowly dropped down his face, his shirt with innocence. After closer examination, Ella found that the tape over his mouth was loose, almost as if someone removed it. It couldn't have been Martin, since his hand was still tied up. Her curiosity led to her removing the tape. It appeared that something was shoved inside his mouth. Ella took it out and showed it to John and Frank. The note said, "He established an interest and died for it. The nightmare has begun." What happened, Tom? We were just standing outside the door like you said. Did any of you leave the door unguarded for any more than 3 minutes? No, we stood outside for the time it took until we came back.
The vents!
I think it's Ella.
I was with you all the time.
Except for the one time you went to the toilet.
And you probably know how to use a knife properly, Miss Perfect.
John, you know I would never kill Martin.
Wait, didn't Evan bring a knife?
They heard a maniacal laugh echoing down the hall. It came from the direction of their classroom. The three of them looked at each other and decided to head back. Now was not the time to accuse one another. This might be the only chance they had to figure out what was going on. Nothing seemed suspicious in the hallway that led to their classroom, but they opened the door. They knew that they weren't the only ones that have heard the laughter. Most of them hid underneath their desks and held on to each other. Not a moment later, they heard heavy footsteps patrolling the hallway outside. Everyone held their breaths as the footsteps appeared to pass by. Frank wanted to see if it was safe, so he slowly snuck over to the door and grabbed the handle. As he was looking for the approval in his classmates' faces, all he met with were shaking heads. But he was confident that it was safe, so he opened the door just for a peek. The little light from the moon outside the window only sparingly illuminated the hallways, so he opened the door further.
It looks like we're clear.
He turned his back to the hallway. In unison, a huge sigh of relief swept through the class. In the same moment, two hands protruded from the darkness. One covered Frank's mouth while the other grabbed him by the throat and dragged him away. Frank fell over and got dragged out from the classroom and into the dark. The others could not see anything other than two hands with black gloves dragging Frank. Emma saw it and once started running into the darkness to get Frank.
Emma, don't go! Come on guys, we have to go after her.
They rushed into the hall, but no one saw which direction Frank and Emma went.
They're both gone.
Evan began to take it seriously now, because he started understanding the gravity of the situation. Losing your best friend has a habit of changing you. Unknown location, 2 AM. Emma woke up. She had been hit over the head with a hard object, and her head was still hurting.
Where am I?
You're in the rabbit's hole.
Who are you? And where's Frank?
It was a scary voice. It sounded unnatural, robotic, almost inhuman.
Oh, him? He was a funny one.
The killer laughed, cleaning one of the countless knives.
You should have seen his face. So determined to outrun me, and so broken when he noticed me dragging you in. Please, let it go. Do what you want with me, but let it go. He was so brave when I gutted him, only to burst out in tears when he noticed I lied.
Emma started crying. Not only the thought of losing someone this close to her, but also how he had to go. This monster couldn't get enough pleasure out of just killing them. It also had to torture them one by one. Emma was fuming with rage, but she also knew that she wouldn't stand a chance. It was smarter to just play along.
Please, don't kill me. I'll do anything.
The killer stopped attending to their knives and appeared to think for a moment behind the dead eyes of their mask. They turned their gaze towards their captive and talked with an evil grin in their face.
Anything you say?
Cafeteria, 11 PM.
We have to split up in groups of 3.
I'll go with Jennifer and Ella.
I can go with Tom and Jerry.
That leaves the two Alexandrias.
They can be a duo. Double A sporty, so no matter what New Alexandria can do, I think they should be fine.
I found something in Alex's pocket. It's a map of the school. And it's split up in 3 different sections. John and Co., you take section A. The classrooms, the library, and the music room. Me, JJ, and Evan take section B. The cafeteria, cleaning rooms, and teacher offices. Alexandria's, you take section C, which is outside. So you must find some way to go to the dean's office and see if you can open the doors from there. And let us all meet up here at exactly midnight.
Sir. Yes, sir.
It's ma'am, but I can't be bothered to argue now. And why did you force your voice that low?
What do you mean? This is my real voice. Ella only rolled her eyes to John's frugal attempt to sounding heroic. They split up and started searching. Dean's office, 11:15 p.m.
I found a keycard. Should be the one for the doors.
Let's try it.
I see you found something that belongs to me.
The inhuman voice roared out behind them while cocking a gun.
What the?
Oh, how cute. You really think it would be this easy?
The sound of the gunshot made Alex's ears ring and sting. When she opened her eyes and removed her hands from her ears, she couldn't believe her eyes. And I spewed out some blood as she looked down on herself. This crazed killer shot her straight in the stomach, ripping through her guts. Instantly, her legs gave out and collapsed on the floor. Alexandria started running immediately, and lucky for her, she was faster than the killer and got away. But she wondered why the killer didn't shoot after her, almost like the killer hesitated. Cafeteria, 11:20 p.m.
Anything yet?
Nothing here.
Nothing here.
Suddenly, they hear screams and footsteps from one person.
Double A?
A is dead. The killer got her with a gun. It must be the same they used on Alexander.
Damn it. Did you see anything on the killer? Face or anything?
All I saw was, before I ran, was a couple of ears. Looked like rabbit ears.
God, this person must be crazy. Killing others in a rabbit suit? We have no way of contacting the others, so we have to stay together and stay safe until the rest comes back.
Library, 11:25 p.m.
John, I think I found something.
Jerry yelled from the other side of the library. The library was big. It had 25 bookcases, all filled with books, so they had to yell to reach the other side. John ran to his position to see what he wanted. Don't yell. We don't want the killer to know where we're at. So, what did you find?
This van. It is a possible route to go. I think it goes to the outside and everywhere around the school. We should call a group meeting and talk about the find.
Jerry answered with an energetic voice. They jogged towards the cafeteria and met Group B there still searching. Guys, we found something. John walked up to the rest of his class energetic. All his excitement faded when he saw Alexandria crying at one of the tables with Jennifer and Evan next to her. While Jennifer was condoling her, Evan seemed less fazed. We were just about to call a meeting. And why is Alexandria here but not New Alexandria?
We were supposed to get you. NA is KIA.
Wait, you know what KIA means?
Yes, killed in action. We don't have time for that now.
They jogged down to the cafeteria stairs to sit down and talk. But not a moment later, they got a pleasant surprise.
Frank?
I got away from the killer. I know where their hideout is. The doors are open. They might have been open just before I escaped.
Where?
It's outside, a little cave.
Let's try and clear the main areas of the school and block all ventilation systems, then go for the cave. Some were against that statement, because they wanted to catch the killer instantly, but they ended up agreeing with John. Cafeteria, 2 a.m. Are all the vent systems blocked? Everyone nodded and gave the thumbs up to symbolize a job well done.
Let's ambush the cave and catch this son of a bitch.
The rabbit's hole, 2:10 a.m. With the use of the key card Alexandria found, they got outside. Because the killer had locked them after Frank's escape, Let's get this bastard. The class made their way through the pitch-black cavern. The only thing kept them going was a small light at the end of the tunnel. When they reached the room at the other end, to their surprise, the rabbit was tied up to a chair unconscious.
Wait, what the hell?
Gotcha.
To be continued.